Erika Kirk finally responded to Druski, and she's upset. As you know, Druski completely shocked the internet with his Erika Kirk skit back in March. While many found the skit hilarious, others found it distasteful and disrespectful. This sparked a massive division on the internet, leaving people arguing over whether Druski was right or wrong for what he did. Since the skit, no one knew what Erika felt about the whole thing. While she ignored the skit at first, now it seems to have gotten to her. She finally addressed him, calling him out for parodying her. The only thing is that what she said only made things worse. Whether you agree or disagree with Druski's parody of Erika Kirk, the one thing you can't deny is that it was quite accurate. That's why I believe Erika chose not to respond when it first surfaced. She knew that being upset about it was only gonna make things more viral. Her supporters were waiting for a response to the skit, hoping she would put Druski in his place. Even the president told her to respond, demanding she sue him. But she kept it quiet, which honestly was the best thing she could do at the time, as her recent response to Druski only made things worse in my opinion. A few days back while on her show, Erika decided it was time to address all her haters. She didn't just clap back at Druski, she also went after Candace Owens and everyone else who called her out. According to Erika, we are the problem. Not only Druski for parodying her questionable over-the-top antics, or Candace for asking questions about the Charlie Kirk situation, but also the rest of the people who feels like there is something inauthentic about how she's been acting. Erika accused the world of dehumanizing her, but didn't address any of the concerns people have. She didn't address why she does over-the-top WWE-style entrances, or why it seems like she turned her situation into a sales pitch to make money. Take a listen to what she actually said.
What I've realized through all of this, truly, having lived through quite literal hell these past 7 months, if you strip someone of their humanity long enough, you will arrive at the chilling conclusion that they don't deserve to exist at all. Every morning I wake up to a new headline lying about me. I have comedians dressing up in whiteface. I have people saying I'm not fit to be CEO, and I have Candace Owens claiming I murdered my husband. And the list goes on and on and on. There is a serious epidemic of dehumanization plaguing this country.
According to Erika, we are the problem. While she addressed Druski and others, she didn't address why people are saying these things about her to begin with. Think about it. Her actions are what give people like Druski the fuel they need to parody her. If she were being authentic and not using her situation as marketing to sell books, Druski's skit would have been a reach. This is why she is deflecting. For example, she called out Druski for wearing the mask and tried to make it a racial thing, but this has absolutely nothing to do with that. This was a masterclass in manipulation. She wanted to take the attention off the fact that he was right. The skit focused entirely on her actions. Instead of addressing Druski wearing a mask, she should have addressed why she does all those over-the-top stunts. Just the other day, she came out on stage with the same antics. Again, people were comparing it to a wrestler's entrance.
Please welcome Turning Point USA CEO and Chair, Erika Kirk.
Welcome. Look at this crowd.
She keeps doing it to herself. People can see when you're putting on an act. To me and many others, that's what all of this clearly looks like. Every time she comes out to pyrotechnics and music, she's validating the Druski skit. Why didn't she explain herself for behaving like this? Think about it. She never said Druski was wrong. That was the most telling part about all of this. She knows that if you put the Druski skit side by side with her recent appearances, you can't tell the difference. Shoot, I literally thought it was Erika when I first saw the skit. My point is, Druski isn't wrong for what he did, and we aren't wrong for noticing it and agreeing with him. In today's world, people monetize anything and everything. That's exactly what I feel Erika did. Instead of playing the role of a grieving widow, she turned into a CEO and instantly tried to find ways to maximize her profits. It's hard to buy into the idea that she's genuinely grieving when, since it happened, she's been turning TPU into the Erika Kirk show. Now, I'm not saying she doesn't have a right to grieve however she feels best, but we also have a right to feel like it's not authentic. To blame us and say we're dehumanizing her is a reach. She chose to thrust herself into the spotlight. She chose to become the CEO and start selling books right after. She's the one who started doing the people's eyebrow while talking in her interviews. Honestly, she dehumanized herself. To me, it feels like she milked this situation and is now upset that people notice. What I was waiting for her to address was why she did that hand gesture. Druski himself made sure to add that in the skit. Like I said previously, that gesture tells me everything I need to know about Erika. While she runs around selling God, she's also doing gestures that honors the opposite. With her image being heavily focused on traditional values, she should know what that gesture means. She should know that it doesn't align with the message she's selling. I genuinely think she did it purposely to reveal herself. I don't think she was trying to tell a crowd of strangers that she loved them. One of the many problems many people had with Erika since she took over TPU was how dishonest she's been. People pointed to her making so many claims that were debunked. She said that she had never dated anyone before Charlie, but people found out about her previous relationships with several other men. She claimed she didn't drink or party either, but then footage of her in a reality show surfaced showing her partying and drinking. Now, I'm not saying any of those things are genuinely wrong. To each their own. But the problem is, she said these things to try to paint herself in a certain light that would help her new role. She wanted to paint herself that way even though those claims were false, which again proves that she's being inauthentic. When you step back and look at the whole picture, her recent response to Druski makes perfect sense. She is in full damage control mode. She knows that people are starting to wake up to the reality of who she really is behind the scenes. Druski just happened to be the one with a massive platform who finally put a mirror up to her behavior. He gave the general public a visual representation of the exact things we have been calling out for months. She refused to look in that mirror and take any accountability. Instead, she chose to attack him, choosing to play the victim card and accuse everyone else of dehumanizing her. The truth is, her own actions are doing the exact thing she is complaining about. This is a classic deflection tactic. By pointing the finger at Druski and Candace Owens, she creates a smokescreen. She is banking on the outrage to distract her audience from the legitimate questions being asked about her past and her current motives. If you watch her recent interviews closely, you can see the cracks in the facade. Pay attention to her body language. The way she shifts her eyes and overly exaggerates her tone when she brings up Druski shows a highly calculated performance. She is clearly reciting rehearsed talking points to force a specific emotional reaction from her audience. She knows exactly which buzzwords to use to keep her supporters engaged and angry. She is trying to tightly direct the narrative and keep her core supporters blinded to the truth. She absolutely needs them to stay outraged at Druski so they can keep buying her books, clicking on her videos, and turning into her show. That is the real reason she finally broke her silence. Her true motivation is simply protecting her brand and securing her bottom line. She built a highly profitable persona, and now that that foundation is crumbling, she is panicking. The mask is slipping in real time. At this point, no amount of pyrotechnics, entrance music, or defensive rants can change people's mind. When you really break it all down, everything Erika is doing right now is a masterclass in audience manipulation. She is relying on the fact that her followers will only listen to her words and completely ignore her actions. But we see exactly what is happening. The WWE-style entrances, the defensive rants, the debunked claims about her past, and those highly questionable hand gestures all point to the exact same conclusion. She's playing a character. Druski saw through the character and created a parody that was so accurate she had no choice but to finally respond. But her response only proved this point. She revealed her true intentions. Her entire goal right now is maintaining her status as a CEO. She wants the benefits of being a public figure without any of the accountability. I want to know what you think about all of this. Do you think Erika's response to Druski was justified, or do you agree that she is just deflecting to protect her brand? I can tell you what would likely come next for Erika. She would likely use this entire Druski controversy to make her next project or secure her next paid speaking engagement. What she fails to understand is that the audience is much smarter than she gives them credit for. People recognize when grief is being monetized. They see when a platform is being weaponized for profit. Druski just opened the floodgates. By reacting the way she did, she gave a green light to every other creator to dissect her behavior. From this point forward, every interview, every stage entrance, and every hand gesture will be under a microscope. If she truly wanted the parodies to stop, the solution is simple. She needs to drop the act. She needs to take a step back from the spotlight and show some genuine vulnerability. But instead, she's choosing to double down on the CEO persona. At the end of the day, the internet remains undefeated. You cannot outrun the truth when your own actions keep contradicting your words. Does Erika have a right to be mad? Yes. But does Druski have a right to parody her? Absolutely. More importantly, we are definitely not dehumanizing her by calling this out. We are simply asking the right questions. She influences millions of people. I feel a responsibility to tell all those vulnerable people not to fall for the facade. I want to know what you guys think below. Was Erika's response warranted, or is Druski wrong? And if you want to see how Druski did the same thing to the prosperity gospel leaders, make sure to watch this video right now. For those who want to support the channel, make sure to like this video and subscribe to join the movement. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.